Hey everybody, it's Gabe in the car. Yay! Do you want to hear about Russian literature today? Of course you do. Who wouldn't want to hear about Russian literature in the morning? As a member of the Satanic Temple, which some people know, some people don't, but if you listen to the show, you probably heard me talk about it. There is a reading list. Obviously, it's not like some kind of mandatory reading list, where you have to sacrifice a baby at the end of each book or something like that. But it's basically a list of books that kind of exemplify and show the structure of and kind of the nuance behind romantic and modern Satanism. It's really cool. There's a lot of really good books in there, and books that you probably wouldn't expect and some that you really would expect, but totally beside the point. As I've been going through the reading list, I came across a book called The Master and Margarita by Mikhail, I don't know how to say his last name. It starts with a B. I want to say it's like, I'm not even going to attempt it. If you look up The Master and Margarita, there's not a whole lot of books called that, especially because there's only one book called that. But The Master and Margarita is basically about the devil coming to communist Russia and subverting their system, and basically through his love of freedom and love of independence, showing people how they can live differently than they live currently. And it's a really interesting book, kind of divided into two different storylines. The storyline of The Master and Margarita. The Master is a writer who has been writing a book about Pontius Pilate, and his lover, Margarita, who is in an unhappy marriage. Their love story combined with his novel about Pontius Pilate, which is super interesting. If you're not familiar with the name Pontius Pilate, he's the judge that actually condemned Jesus to death finally, after the Pharisees and Sadducees had done their part. Basically, there was a two-tiered legal system in Rome at the time, where local authorities would convict somebody, and if they were convicted, then they were taken in front of a Roman magistrate who would then actually decide their sentencing or their fate, just because they wanted to provide the illusion of local control while also maintaining national control. It's very similar to what was going on in communist Russia, where there's all these little guys, middlemen, kind of middle managers, maintaining control of different factions of the state apparatus, but really there's overarching crazy group of people that are in control that are never going to let go of control. So super fascinating stuff. The book itself is really entertaining. It has a remarkable amount of funny moments. I've been noticing that about the books that I've been reading on the reading list, is that a lot of them are either very serious in their takes on, empathy and compassion, social justice, that kind of thing. And then the other ones are funny, like this notion that the devil is basically an agent, not of chaos, but of subversion, of taking things that people assume will never change and can never change, and that's just the way it is, much like God in heaven, and saying, no, I don't like that. I'm going to change it to something that's more palatable to all of us and to myself, and making the effort to make those changes. That's the allegory. That's the metaphor of Satanism. So, it's really interesting. It's a really good book. If you're into Russian literature, I know that that's a thing, but I don't know that, the listeners and viewers of a pop culture podcast have a high crossover rate with people that are into Russian literature. I would hope so. But, check it out, The Master and Margarita. If you're not into Russian literature, or you're not familiar with Russian literature, good jumping off point. It's surreal, it's funny, it's interesting, it's wildly bizarre. it would have a hard time turning into a movie. Like, it's bizarre, like Kurt Vonnegut's bizarre. Here's war, here's, you know, all these different things going on. Oh yeah, you know, and space aliens, or like demons and witches. Like, it's pretty fun. There's a talking cat who smokes cigarettes and drinks brandy a lot, which I thought was really funny. I don't know, it's a really good book. Be sure to check it out. Master Margarita. This is Gabe, thinking outside the Longbox and cars. If you want to know more about us, you can visit us at www.totlb.com. And of course, click on that subscribe and like and ring bell so that you get all of our videos. Suckers. Bye.